I am endlessly fascinated with human beings and our behavior. The choices that we make based on the thoughts that we think, based on the beliefs that we have. And I love being a breakthrough coach because it's so thrilling for me to sit down with someone who's ready to have one of the biggest breakthroughs of their life. On one of my recent exotic trips, I took a group of people with me and I decided to demonstrate what breakthrough is like and not having it by putting everyone in the craziest tangled web of black strings. So I want to show this handmade spider web, kind of like that little tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. Let's see what this human spider web looks like. I used to travel to really take a vacation from life. What I've since learned is that traveling is actually a great way not only to live life, but to really get out of pattern, the normal everyday, day-to-day pattern of living that we have, you know, of when I go to work and when I wake up in the morning and just kind of how I do things. You know, when you're on vacation, everything is novel, everything is different. You're likely waking up in a place you've never been before, which makes it a really good place to evaluate how you do life. And one of the things that I do when people travel with me all around the world is I love to talk about our belief systems. You know, every one of us here has our own self-imposed limitations. And I was trying to think to myself, man, what would be a really fun way to illustrate the damaging power of our limiting beliefs and then how we can move past our limits to really unleash ourselves to step into our full potential. And last minute I came up with this idea. All right, let's go ahead and ask everyone to take 3 pieces of black yarn and think of 3 limiting beliefs that are really getting in your way of stepping into you know, your goals and the things that you want to create, whatever your intentions are, right? Whether it's stepping into a healthier body or more financial success or whatever it is you're looking for. And I basically said, go network for a few minutes and communicate with each other and find people that can identify with your limiting beliefs. They share them with you. And within a matter of 5 minutes, there was this crazy cluster bomb spider web of everyone being connected to each other with this black cord. No one could let go of their black yarn. But where we were tied together was ideas like, I'm not enough, I can't do it, I'm not supposed to, I'm too young, I'm too old. All of these ideas that just we've created them or we've allowed them into our lives and we really let them hold us back. Pick a direction of where you want to go and start moving in that direction. And it was weird. It's like everyone just rolled up like a corkscrew and got even further away from what they wanted. And I started asking them what they were experiencing. And some people were experiencing pain or torn or moved in the opposite direction of where they wanted to go. Some people were angry, some people were frustrated. And it was fascinating to see how that's really just not very different at all from what our life is like when we're living according to our own self-imposed limits. There's this conversation about rules. Every limiting belief is tied to a rule book of thou shalt, thou shalt nots, the things that I can say yes to, the things that I have to say no to. And the reality is that the pathway to success is nothing more than the right combination of the right yeses and the right nos. Both of those are the words of creation. We need both of them. We need to say yes to the right things. We need to say no to the right things. And if you're saying yeses and nos with all the opportunities that life dishes up for you in the right order, then you're going to be successful. The only reason why we don't say yes to the right things and we say no to the wrong things is because our limitations have imposed rules upon us. And what's interesting is I asked them to evaluate each string in their hand that they were identifying with. Asked them what would serve them better, and of course someone said it's too hard, and their new belief was it's easy, I can do it. And you know, in the world of creation, the only way to create a new belief is to start in a place where you've never been before and to accept it as truth, almost on blind faith, in order to produce evidence that it actually exists.
Friends, if all we're going to do is repeat past decisions, then you'll age and the scenery will change, but the results stay the same. If you want your results to change for your health, or your relationships, or your or whatever your message to the world looks like, then the only way to flip the switches on yeses and nos is to unbind your intuition by releasing the rules that accompany limiting beliefs.
Last night was magical because as everyone started letting go of their limiting beliefs and exchanging their falsehoods and lies for something way more empowering, people started dropping the ropes to the ground and ultimately were in a great way to be able to get to their destination of where they wanted to be.
So when we were doing this, what I was drained with was money. And I got to thank you. And all of a sudden, money became this thing that I have misused and abused in myself and in others.
I love having these conversations when traveling, and yet it's the right time to have this conversation with you. Maybe I'll get to join you, or you get to join me on one of our next travel and adventures somewhere in the world. Regardless, today is the right day to ask, what's the number one limiting belief keeping you from what you want? Is it serving you? Who would you be without it? And what would you rather believe? And the simple conscious thought process of letting go of our limits and stepping into these empowering limitless beliefs, that's really what changes our reality. It's amazing that change can seem as magical as a magician doing magic work and creating some illusion of perception. And yet the truth is, we're capable of deep transformation and owning it with something as simple as a new choice. So today, evaluate what choices are you making that aren't serving you, that are producing rules that you're following that are not working for you, and what could you choose to believe instead that would open up more of your true potential?
Most of us cannot even begin to imagine how stressful it is living life with all these unnecessary beliefs that limit us. And at one point in our life, maybe they were useful. But right now, if you want to get really where you need to go in life, if you want to live life at your potential, reality is you got to find a way to get rid of these limiting beliefs. Thank you so much for watching today. If you want to watch more videos like this, and be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, and check it out. You can come on one of my next adventure trips with me. If you want to learn about it, head over to my website where you can see some of the options for our events that are coming up so that we can experience breakthrough to the max.